Handyman Connection puts together these flight groups. A flight group is a group of your peers that all operate businesses, and I know that they organize them based on somewhat personality, but then also volume and sort of goals and values and where they want to go with the business. So our flight group has some of the highest performing franchise owners in the country, and what we do in those is it's a time for us to get together and share best practices, ideas. There are facilitators that sort of help keep us on track, but the meeting's really about us. So I mentioned earlier, one of the most valuable sort of occurrences throughout my year are when I get a chance to talk to owners and fellow owners. And so this group is more of a formal support group, and we have a group text and we talk to each other. Anybody run into this, hey, I just had a lot of success with this, thought I would let you guys know. But the purpose is to support each other, because some of us have huge strengths in certain areas and some of us don't, and it's really cool to have that mix of personalities, because we just feed off of each other. And like I say, that's where I learn most of my tricks, is getting it from the other people.
I've been exposed to things called mastermind groups or peer groups. In Handyman Connection, we use a concept called a flight group. And what a flight group is it brings together franchisees that are in a similar situation or have some commonality on how long they've been in the business, some of their particular goals that they're after. And what's really cool about a flight group then is you can really dive into each other's business plans, marketing plans. You can throw ideas out there and get great feedback on, yeah, that sounds great, or that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. And so it's a very open and respectful environment to share ideas and hopefully come out with a much better approach to your business from having gone through the process.
The nice part about the fly group that we were able to do is that we were able to do a fly group with all resale franchises, which was good, because then we all had a common theme. We bought an existing franchise. Most of us had the same questions or issues or concerns, and it was good to see that we were able to form that group, facilitated by somebody from home office, and then we were able to start looking at it. Says, hey, here's what you can do in regards to financial planning. Here's my goals. You share them with your fly group, and then also, you hold yourselves accountable to that, because now you have to present on what you're doing, how you're doing, and why is it that you're not doing so good, and hold yourselves accountable, and they help you hold yourselves accountable that, hey, you said you were going to do this, and if you don't do, you kind of feel bad about it, because they're not going to scold you too bad, but you start feeling bad about it. They go like, yeah, you're right, I did say I was going to do this and I didn't do it.
Handyman Connection has flight groups. And a flight group is a peer-to-peer learning environment where you are vulnerable with your business, knowing that you're going to get honest, fair, and helpful feedback. And it can be hard to hear, but it's also very beneficial because we look at numbers. So I've got, 5 financials across the board and everything going down, and I can say, oh wow, how did you hit that gross profit, or how did you keep your marketing there? And we're sharing what works and what doesn't work. And in that flight group, you've got somebody who's more brand new. You've got like a year, 2 years, 3 years, maybe 4 or 5 years, and you're within $1 million range. So your businesses are very similar. You're never going to, well, I guess I could, but I've never been in a flight group where you've got, people that have been there 20 years and then you're there a year. But you're in this just amazing, very focused and disciplined environment. So we follow a very strict format so that we can get through and provide good, actionable feedback for everyone. In fact, with my flight group, we were lucky. We actually had Jeff Wall, the CEO, as our facilitator for our flight group. And you can't get more involved from the home office than having the CEO be your facilitator for your flight group.
The owners who started businesses at about the same time, we get together and we discuss how our businesses are doing. And we give each other not only the feedback, but also the suggestions on how to improve the business based on what they've done. So it's like learning from business without making your own mistakes. Some of those tips help, and some don't help a particular territory, let's say, like mine, but it may help someone else in the room. So that sharing is helping to run the business. We all come back with some new ideas that we can implement. We do meet about monthly on the phone. We do meet face to face a couple of times a year. But also we develop personal relationships. So at any time I know that, let's say, one of the guys or one of the girls is good at a particular field, like marketing. And I have a question, I may call them and say, hey, corporate recommend do this. I know you've tried it out. How did it work for you? And what did you do? What did you need to adjust to make it work? So that's fantastic. That's actually something that keeps us in communication, keeps us together